friends, it's Susanna. I am here to share a long-awaited video, my planner setup video. I know I have been promising this video for a few months now. I just really wasn't satisfied with the way my setup was going, so I kind of wanted to wait until I had a setup that I knew I would keep for a while. So just a few things before I get started. I am one of those people that changes my planner system probably every month to 2 months. That can be a small change from like the type of inserts I use, or it can be a huge change like going from a ring-bound system to one single spiral planner, or from 2 notebooks and a ring-bound planner to a tiny little pocket planner or a traveler's notebook. It just changes depending on what's going on in my life, what I currently need to plan and keep track of, like the season that I'm in, how much tracking and writing I feel like doing. Sometimes I can totally admit I'm a die-hard planner person. Like, I strongly believe in planners, but there are times when I just don't feel like it, so I kind of just wing it. Those are the times when I'm usually all scatterbrained and don't know what's going on in my life, but it does happen, and I can't always say it's on accident, because sometimes I totally just do it out of laziness. So with that said, this is the system I'm currently using, but if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see me change this within like a month or 2. So we'll just get started. I'm going to start off with the one thing in my planning system that always stays the same. No matter what planner I am using, this has been the same since, I would say, 2012. So the past 5 years, which is a pretty long time considering how often I change my planner setup. So this is just a simple white moleskin notebook. It has lined pages, and this is my brain dump catch-all scribble journal. I don't really know what to call it because that's truly what it is. So this one is very well loved. Also, I think I've had too much caffeine today because my voice is really shaking. My hands are kind of shaking too. That usually happens when I've had too much caffeine, and seeing I had a coffee this morning and an iced tea with lunch, I think my body's a little bit not knowing what to do with itself. But anyway, so this particular notebook, and with that said, like the one thing that stayed the same, I do have multiple of these. Like, this one notebook hasn't been the same since 2012. It's just this concept has been the same. And sometimes I change from like this big one to a smaller one, but I tend to go probably 6 or 7 months in one before I switch to another one. So I kind of go back and forth. So this is like my catch-all. It truly is just doodles, drawings, writings, sticky notes, scribbles, plans, like everything and anything you can possibly imagine goes in here. Oh, those are paper clipped together, but in there's a ton more stuff. And I'm nearing the end of this one, so I have maybe like 5 pages back to front left, and that one's kind of like a scribble page, which I will still use. In this journal, something looking nice is the least of my worries, so I'll totally just like write things around that. And sometimes I'll open this and I'll just kind of flip to a page and start writing on an empty space. So if I'm looking for something, I know to look in here, and oh, that was one of my good friends drew that. Butch from Kylie Creamery in Monterey. I miss him. But anyway, so this one I started actually back in 2014 when I was still in college, and I've gone to other ones since then, and then I've come back to this one, but it has everything. You can see like these were probably on a bunch of different days, because like I said, I just kind of open it up and start writing in an empty spot because I don't want to waste any of this paper, because it's a scribble journal, so it doesn't matter if it looks nice or not. So I hope that makes sense. So that's what this is. Then we will go into, I'm going to do this one last. So we'll go into my current planner, which this is the Felicity Jane Note to Self binder. And these are restocked in the Felicity Jane shop. So if you saw my post on Instagram and you have your eye on this one or any of the other ones in the collection, they're restocked, so you should go check it out. And if you want to pick one up, do so. She also has a bunch of different insert options. So Oh, I wanted to just say one other thing. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambly in this video. I have a lot of thoughts on planning, so it's not an easy video for me to make because I just have so many thoughts that I want to share with you guys. So if I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. It's just because things pop into my head and I don't want to forget to tell you. So I am first and foremost a functional planner. So if you're expecting a planner, I know this is beautiful on the outside. It's like absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it, but it is not even close to beautiful on the inside. There are beautiful elements to it, but I am a functional planner. So if my planner is not planning my life and keeping me organized, I change my system. And so that's kind of another thing why I change so often, because what's in here might be planning my life and keeping me organized now, but next month I might find that I'm doing less planning in this and more just kind of like staring at the pages. And that's when I know it's time to switch things up, because I always want my planner to be functional. So I focus very little on what it looks like, and you'll notice that in certain areas of this as I flip through. So opening it up, this is the inside. So I'll just start off by mentioning how gorgeous this is. I'm not even a huge gold fan, but this is like a matte gold, and I am a lover of matte gold. The gold of the rings is a brighter gold. This is the gold that I'm not a huge fan of. Of course, for hardware, it's like a different story because it's usually gold or silver, so it's not like a choice. But does that make sense? I don't know. I love this color gold. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The pockets are scalloped. So there are 2, 3 pockets, and then there's another one right here. So in this pocket, honestly, these are just a bunch of sticky notes that I have scribbled things on. Then I threw them on my desk, but instead of leaving them on my desk, I just shove them in the pocket. This is my favorite Leslie Knope quote ever. Hobbies? Organizing my agenda. Wait, that doesn't sound fun. Jamming on my planner. That's so me. Like, if I needed to sum up my life, it would be that quote. Oh, and this was just something I printed off Pinterest. It's from Bando. So this is not mine. It's from Bando. But I just printed that out for my own personal use to put in here because it makes me smile every time I open my planner. Yeah. This is a dashboard. Why am I out of breath? Oh my goodness. This is a dashboard that I made from an acetate. Is that what this stuff is called? I never remember. Yeah, acetate piece from one of the Paige Evans Pink Paisley collections. Can you see that there's like gold foil up here? It's really pretty, actually. I know I just said I don't like gold, but I like this gold too. So I guess I'm just picky about which gold I like. But it's just cut from a piece of acetate from one of the Paige Evans Pink Paisley collections. And I had this in my file of facts like last year or something. I don't know. So this is not something new to my planner. I just pull it from one planner and put it in the next. This is, a lot of the inserts you'll see in here are inserts that I make myself just because I change my mind so often on what I want or what I need. It's not worth it to me to invest in like a lot of like a thick stack of one type of insert. So I just make a bunch of them on the computer because, again, I want function. So if it's not the prettiest, I don't really care. So I made this for myself to track Instagram and stories. So I don't plan like what I'm going to post in Instagram stories because that kind of defeats the purpose of what stories is for. It's kind of like for capturing those everyday moments that you don't want to post a photo on. But I do like to post certain things in stories on certain days. So I tend to try to post 3 times on Instagram a day. This was actually the week that I got sick, so I was in the hospital, and obviously my least important, what am I trying to say? Instagram was the least of my worries. That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't finish filling this out, but the past ones you'll see when we get to my planning section. I just put what I plan to, so say a Felicity Jane kit arrives at my house on Monday and I film an unboxing video and then I know I want to post that unboxing video on Friday. I'm going to post on Instagram that I shared that so I can just put it on Friday and then put it also in stories if I want to share it in stories. And that's just a reminder to myself to do that because I have a terrible memory. Just remembering things is not my strong suit. So if it's not written down, chances are it won't happen until a much later date. So I write down the main things that I need to post. And then there's always blank spaces in here. And then as the day comes for the main post, not the stories. Stories is always, the stories column is usually pretty empty like this because I don't have major things I want to post in there every day. So just maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the week. Instagram, I plan most days ahead. And then I'll fill in the gaps. So say Wednesday I have 2 planned, and then Wednesday comes and I snap something on Wednesday and I post it, then I'll write it in as the 3rd one here. And that just helps me when I'm looking back on these to kind of see how my Instagram growth has been, and then I can see what I was posting when it was growing most often, etc. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that well. So I just made this for myself. And then I do have a color coding system which will show up all throughout my planner, and I just use mild liners for those, so I just kind of highlight certain things for certain colors. And the back of this I always keep blank because I usually, when I'm actually having a productive week, I scribble random notes on here like that I don't want to forget, so I just am always writing things on there. This is another thing I made for myself. This was like a super quick whip it up in like 10 minutes because I know I need it, but I don't really want to spend any time on it. So what I usually use these for are, you'll notice when I was sick, when I was in the hospital again, I did not use it, but I just have different columns to make sure that I'm posting the number of times per day on each platform that I want to post to grow my brand. So I leave the dates blank because I just use my date stamp to stamp it in there. That way I can continue using, it is double-sided. I can continue using this sheet until it's full. I'm not a fan of wasting paper, so I didn't want to do 1 per week because it felt wasteful. So yeah, super simple, super messy and scribbly. It is what it is, but it's functional and I like it. This is just a tab, or not a tab, a label that I folded in half and used my tiny attacher to make a little tab so that I can easily, so like if I'm here, I can easily get to this page because I like to easily get to things. That's just a random to-do list. Then this one, this thing, I don't know where this came from, honestly, I can't remember, but this marks my 2017 overview calendar, which I just found this on Pinterest. I can't remember the gal's name that shared this. This was a freebie from her blog, and she was offering it as a freebie, and I just cut down a piece of patterned paper from Simple Stories that I had in my stash. I printed it on the patterned paper, and then I added some washi. This is from One Canoe 2, so that's what that is. Just gives me a good overview of 2017, and since I knew this would be in here all year, I went ahead and printed it on a patterned paper so it would look nice. This is my 2018 plan ahead calendar thing, also something I made for myself. I wish I printed it back to back, but I didn't, so I didn't want to waste it. Instead of like tossing this and printing a new one, that kind of defeats the purpose of saving paper. So I just stuck it in here. So this is where I can plan my 2018, I don't know, like how you plan ahead. You write like, oh, I know I have a trip in April. So then you write your trip in April. So when you're doing your planning for April, you can look at this. I was going to write 2018 on here. I never did, but I know what it is, so it works. Then I have a really pretty reading list that I don't use, but I like the I like the way it looks, so I keep it in here. I made this with the intention of using it, but I haven't been reading lately, so it's just kind of sitting in here. I haven't been adding anything to it. I have like a post-it note somewhere over there on my desk that says the newest books I want to read, but yeah. Then I have the 40 Scriptures for Battling Depression from The Reset Girl. This is a free printable on her blog, so if you go to theresetgirl.com, I believe in her sidebar she has a little thing for this. So if this is something that you want to pick up, she's offering it for free over there. You just download it, and I printed it in, I don't remember if it came A5 sized or if I printed it A5 sized, but either way you can do both. And I just printed this on a piece of cover stock and stuck it in there. Then this marker right here, this I made from a Becky Higgins Project Life divider thing. I just rounded the corners and trimmed it down a little and then put my own holes in, and I made it so you can pull it in and out. This marks my, this is like a wish list. Well, it was a wish list, and then I put another wish list on top because I was too lazy to write these on there. You'll notice that a lot in here. I'm a fan of paper clips because I'm too lazy, don't have time to transfer lists, to just clip them in. So yeah, that marks that. So if I see something, I'm watching someone's video and I'm like, oh, that intrigues me, I want to look into it, or that's something that I want, I can easily turn to this page and scribble it down, and then I won't forget what it was, because like I said, I have a bad memory. Then behind that, I just have a few, these are all from the Reset Girls inserts. I think they're from a few different insert packs when she used to offer them as printed packs. Now they're in her print and snip shop. But when she sold them as printable packs, I bought one of each pack, and then I kind of just pulled out a few that at this time I would like to keep in here. But here's another reading list. I think this one's more up to date than the other one, but again, not as up to date. So these are there if I need them. I haven't been using them, but they're something that I would like to use. So then we get to the divided sections. These dividers, all of my dividers actually, are made from the Felicity Jane, oh shoot, what kit did I make these with? Heidi? I believe it was the Heidi kit. So this is the Felicity Jane Heidi kit. They are gorgeous. I love that kit. It is so beautiful. The newest kit is beautiful too. So keep an eye out for my unboxing on that coming soon. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. So this is my blog and YouTube section for my personal blog and my personal YouTube. This is usually, I wanted to be real with you guys and not like stage my planner, so you're seeing it as it is, and I wanted that to be like it was. I wanted it to be as it is so that you could see like what my planning system is actually like. And like I said, I get lazy at times. So this was going to be my October editorial calendar, and I mean, it still will be, but I just haven't gotten around to filling it out yet. So somewhere on a Post-it note or on my desk. When I say that, this is a very small section of my desk. The rest of my desk is where all of my junk is pushed. So I kind of just usually have like a little space like this that's open on my desk. And I just kind of push everything out of the way when I'm filming so that you guys don't have to see it. And then right there is my computer. So somewhere in the junk piles all around me right now, there's a Post-it note with a makeshift editorial calendar on it that I need to transfer that information to here. So I, again, made this for myself. I've been using it for years now. It's just a simple blank calendar where I can write the month and the year and then fill in the dates and use it for whatever I need to use it for. So this will be my October editorial calendar. Then we go into my creative team section. I have a top tab for this, and oh, I thought I almost showed you something that I wasn't allowed to show you. I didn't. So this is just my legend for my creative teams that I'm currently on. So you'll see I put a square so that I can reprint this. So I put a square for the color that I use, and I have the mild liner color and the pen color. So I matched up, like, I'll show you my supplies probably in another video because this one's already getting pretty long. But I just match up like a mild liner with a colored pen that are close in color, so that way I can use those colors. And then I left blank spaces for anything else that I need to color code and keep track of in this creative team section. So I obviously left space in between the two to write information about like how long the term is, what size the photos need to be for the blog, etc. This was a fairly new edition, so I haven't finished filling it out yet, but those are the plans that I have for this. This is an old note sheet that I printed incorrectly, but I need to take out. So then we have my creative section, which is actually my creative team section. I have my creative team editorial calendar, which is the same, it's the same blank calendar that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to use the same system for my blog. So you'll see I just write the month, and then I kind of fill things out and color code accordingly. This is a month at a glance type thing that I also created for myself, so I fill in the month up here. It's dated 1 through 31, so I can use it during any month, and I can use this for anything. I think this might actually show up somewhere else in my planner, I can't remember. And I just write the dates that I need to keep an eye on and what happens on that date. And then over here I have some sections of things I need to get done. So these are my to-dos for design teams, and then projects that I need to complete, and of course they're color-coded based on the team. These are, I'm going to flip to this page. So these are, I guess this doesn't matter. These are design team inserts that I created I created them for myself initially to keep track of all my projects that I have going on for creative teams and stuff. And then I offered them as a freebie on my site for a while, and I'll be bringing those back as a freebie soon, but that's another topic. But anyway, so they're basically just everything that I need to get done for my creative team projects, but they're blank so that I can fill them out for whatever creative team, if that makes sense. So it's just like a tracker. I'm big on tracking things right now. This is my October creative team calendar. I haven't finished filling it out because, again, I am lazy. Same concept for this one, and then a blank one. And then we go into, if you're an Office fan, a fan of the show The Office, this reference right here, business, might mean something to you. Cody and I are diehard Office fans. Like, I think we're on our 17th time watching every season all the way through. So at this point, I basically can recite the show, each episode, word for word, line for line, without it even being on. I don't know if I should be proud or ashamed of that, but I'm going to go with being proud. Anyway, so off topic, but Creed in The Office, when he's manager for like half a day, doesn't know what he's doing, and that's how he spells business, B-I-Z-N-U-S, and it cracks me up. So that's my business category, which I actually don't want to show right now. I have a few. I don't have a business. Like, if you're like, what business do you have? I don't have a business, but this is future things. There are things that I'm working on. That's future stuff. Anyway, these are some inserts from the Reset Girls Taking Care of My Business insert collection or kit thing, which these I believe are available in her print and snip shop, I'm pretty sure. And then I know this says 2016. I'm planning on just like jimmy rigging this with a little sticker that says like 2017 because I don't want to waste it. Okay. Then we have my personal section. This is where it gets like really messy. So when I started this, I hadn't printed out anything. I was using this on my desk. It's from Archer and Olive, and she offers like these monthly calendar printables, and I just printed it out and I had it thrown on my desk where I was keeping track of a few things that I needed to do, and then when my bills were due. That's what those dots are. And then I decided to, or I had this on my desk because I knew that my note to self binder was coming, and I was kind of waiting to move into it. So when it came, I just kind of hole punched this and put it in instead of making a new insert so as not to waste this. I hole punched it on the wrong side because I had like strong goal, I had good intentions, that's what I'm trying to say, of putting my goals on this side, like my monthly goals that I usually do, but it never happened, so that's fine. And then this was my, I'm gonna skip ahead for a minute. This was my weekly. This is a blank weekly that is also from Archer and Olive. She offers these as, I believe, letter size printouts, and I just print them out as A5 size. This was also what I was using this during the time I was using this. They were just sitting on my desk. Didn't want to waste the paper, so I just popped these in here. This is a random list that I stuck in there. And then these are from the time I was using this. So once I'm done, once the week has passed, I pull it from the front and I put it back here with the week, and then I put a new one up there, if that makes sense. So this one you can kind of see a little bit more of how I use it and how I do my color coding. This one was a mess. I do a lot of scribbling and line drawing because, like I said, I want it to be functional and I want it to serve its purpose. Moving on, this was, sorry, my camera stopped recording for some reason. So then I just started using it to track my mood. I didn't keep up with it, obviously, whatever. It failed, but I tried it, and that's fine. This was my October monthly. I also have not filled that out yet. My monthly goals for October, have not filled those out yet. This is a double-sided printable that I just made for myself. So I have personal, relationship, home, health, blog, and work. So I can jot down a few goals for October that I hope to accomplish in those areas. This is a 1 through 31, a monthly tracker that I have not filled out yet, but it's for October. Some sticky notes. This is a monthly tracker for October. For October, and then maybe November, depending on how much will fit on here. These are just the products that I order, or the items that I order online, so I can keep track of where I ordered them from and if they've come and all of that, but I have not filled that out yet. and another sticky note. So then starting right here with these polka dot inserts, these are the Plan to Create weekly inserts, and these are the printed edition that you can get from the Felicity Jane shop. I have been using on and off Julie from Plan to Create. I've been using her inserts on and off since I first tried A5 planning, well, A5 ring bound planning in, was it 2015? I think the beginning of 2015, I first used her inserts. Wow, has it already been that long? I think so. Anyway, and I love them. They're wonderful. They're undated, so you can use them at any time. You don't feel bad skipping a week. And so now I'm using the printed version from the Felicity Jane shop. So you'll notice that this week I was really decorative, and I know I mentioned this is just something that I put in to keep my weekly to-dos on. I know I mentioned I don't decorate my planner, and I don't, but the Felicity Jane shop had just come out with they're still fairly new, 2 new stamp sets. Let me see, I think I have them here. So here's one of them, the bold alpha set, and then there's a bold numbers set that goes with this. I don't know where it is in my pile of stuff over here to the side, but I really wanted to use them, and I wasn't working on a project that I needed them for at the time, so I just used them in my planner because I needed to do that anyway. So this week is exceptionally pretty in my mind because I don't usually do all of this, but I love it. It looks nice. And then I got sick and went to the hospital here, so I didn't end up using my planner as much as I normally do, but I just basically, if I don't have things laid out for me every single day in my planner, they won't get done. So even things as tedious as doing my journaling and then doing my tracking. Like if I have to track that I'm doing my tracking, you know I'm one of those people that needs everything written down. And it's not enough to just like, I have to have it written down every single day. I can't just have a sticky note reminder like don't forget to do your tracking or don't forget to do your journaling, because I need to physically check it off each day to be able to make myself do it, which is really strange. It's just how my brain works. I'm a visual person. And I don't use Facebook personally, so like I don't have a Facebook app on my phone or anything. It's just not, I don't know, I just don't use it. So I don't think to check it, but my design teams use Facebook for all of the updates and everything, so I have to check Facebook every day to go to my groups and check on my design teams and make sure there's no announcements that I need to know about. So if you're wondering why I have that every day, that's why. And then for my health, it's really important that I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you've been following along with me, you know that I have a chronic illness. If not, that's a story for another day, no big deal. But for that reason, I have to make sure I eat 3 meals a day to keep my blood sugars level and all of that. So I'm notorious for skipping breakfast in the morning because I don't feel hungry, which of course, I don't know. I've now switched to eating like a bowl of fruit. So I'm not like shoving food in my body if I'm not feeling hungry. I'm just giving my body a little bit of nutrients so that my blood sugar can stay up and I can get through the day without feeling like I'm going to pass out. So up here you'll notice 3 check marks. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was really bad a couple of these days and didn't eat breakfast, but I'm trying to get better at it, and that's why I print those, or I put those there so that I can stay on top of it. Then I just cut a piece of grid paper in half and I put it in the middle of the day so that I can have a weekly running to-do list, things that don't need to be done on a certain specific day. And then on the other side, I keep track of the things I want to document that week. So I do weekly pocket page album spreads every week. And like I said, I have a terrible memory. And the thing that I want to document the most in those weekly pocket pages are the little things. So the things that I'm not creating like a full scrapbook layout about because it's some huge, wonderful event or some terrible event or whatever I'm documenting. These are the little things. Like one morning I woke up for work and Cody was working from home and he went down to Starbucks and he got me a Starbucks. And usually we make coffee at home. I thought that was very sweet and kind of him, and it really made my whole entire day, honestly. It's like those little things. So I took a picture of my cup just so that I could print that out and put it in my weekly Project Life album and remember that that made me happy that week. But of course, my days start to blend together and everything, so my picture will keep track of the date it was taken, so I'll know the date that it was taken based on the date in my phone. but I just keep like a running list of like things that I don't want to forget to print pictures out for to put in my Project Life album. It just helps me stay on track. This week is more what my weeks usually look like. So I just scribbled it in marker, and then I used my date stamp for the dates, my like roller date stamp. And then I have my things I want to track all throughout the week. This week we're on Tuesday right now, so it's still blank here because I'm still planning my week as I go. Monday I was still sick, so I didn't do anything. So Tuesday started my life again, basically, and I'm just starting to make my way through the week. And then I have this week I split it up into to-do, to film, and then upcoming creative team projects, and then again to document this week. We have a visitor. Hey girl, this is Fiona. Hi girl, you're getting cat hair all over everything. I'm trying to film right now. Come back in a minute, okay? I love you. Okay, and then I have so much going on up here, like all of these things, that if I'm at the front of my planner, I want to be able to easily get to this week that we're on. So oh my gosh, she jumped back on. Fiona, please. You're so needy right now. Look at her. Say hi to all of our friends. Hi, you little weirdo. Okay, please go. I love you. I will pay attention to you in a minute. So I decided to make it on the side, and I wanted it to poke out farther than my regular tabs. So I created this little doodad from a clear, what are they called? It's a pad from Illustrated Faith. I think they're called clear cuts, and I just used the entire sheet. I put on a sticky tab from Avery, a little tab thingy, and then I used my Dymo label maker and labeled the week. And it's see-through, so I can still see the other week, so it's not really getting in my way. So that's what that is. And then I just have blank inserts for the upcoming weeks. So then you'll see back here these little these are also labels folded in half to mark things. And I'm gonna skip to the second page here. So the first page has my information on it, but it's the same as this. So these are printable half-page inserts from Peanuts Planner Co. And this is my budget tracker, like where I track my expenses, so like what I'm spending money on. And because I'm a visual person and I'm a like physical paper person, I can't use like budgeting apps and stuff. They just don't work for me. So I stick to good old paper and pen, actually paper and pencil for this. And you'll notice, let's see if you can see this, my entire finance, wow, that's weird. My entire finance section of my planner back here, the pages are shorter than the other pages, and that's because she offers the printables as half letter instead of full A5 size. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me, but if that would bother you, then I don't know. Cut your papers bigger, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So this is my budget tracker where I track my expenses. Then we go into, oh, I'll skip to this page. Then we go into my other budget, like my budget overview. So I set different budget categories each month. So I have like a space for groceries, for household goods, for eating out, for spending money, for my cat, and for my car. And then I have a few on the other side of this page, but that already has information on it. Then I set, like, for groceries this month, I would like to keep my spending money. I'm giving myself $50 extra this month, actually, than I usually do. I would like to keep my spending money to $150 for the entire month. And that's for crafting supplies. That's for, like, if I'm out and I see something at, like, Madewell, like a shirt that I like, that goes into spending. If, I don't know, everything that is not, like, a life necessity, that if I'm at Target and I, like, see a notebook that I like, spending money. So that's for the entire month. Like I said, I'm giving myself $50 extra than I normally do just because, like I said, treat yourself. That's the kind of month I'm having. Shout out to Parks and Rec for that one. Anyway, so this is where I keep track of my finances. So when I spend something, I put it both in my expense tracker. I take it out from my like overall account balance, and then I come in here and I subtract the amount from my budget. So if I buy a $10 notebook from Target, I don't do that, but okay, let's say I bought a $10 shirt from Target. I'd come in here and put like Target minus $10, and then the remaining balance would be $140 for the rest of the month. And that's how I keep track of how much I should be spending on each category. I've just tried to be more mindful of it recently. I want to only be buying things that are truly bringing me joy, not things that I just have like FOMO about. I want to make sure that I'm not going to the grocery store and just throwing things in my basket that I end up like not eating because I didn't actually want it. I just saw it and it looked good in the moment. I don't know. I'm trying to be more mindful of all areas of my life right now, and I've noticed that this is one section that helps me be extremely mindful about things, because I can monetarily, hi girl, I can monetarily, she's throwing me off, I'm sorry. I can monetarily observe it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So by tracking the money that I spend in each category, I'm able to also observe my spending, or not just my spending habits, but like my habits in those areas further than just about money. I hope that makes sense. And then I have a paper clip so I can paper clip receipts that I haven't yet tracked. Then we go into the bills section. I put my monthly bills here, how much they're going to be, and then I mark them off when I pay them. Simple enough. Then I have a payment tracker. This is to keep track of like debt and stuff. I don't use this section very much. I did fill out one for my car because my car is a large expense that okay, are you seeing this? Fiona, please. Just give me 5 more minutes. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going, and if that bothers you, then I'm sorry, but I'm a cat person and I don't know. She's being extra needy. So anyway, I have one for my car because it's a large expense and I just want to pay it off as soon as possible. And so if this helps me like pay extra each month so that I can get it paid off faster, then I'd be happy about that. No, you may not lay on that. Then we have my miscellaneous tab. I have an extra printable thing in here and some paper. Whew, I'm sorry, that was a long one. Then I have my Lamy pen. It's a Lamy rollerball. It's not a fountain pen in here. That's what I use in my planner. And I love the Felicity Jane binder. The thing is stretchy, so you can fit any size pen in there, and I love that. So then in the back, you have this thingy-mabob here and this thingy-mabob here. What are those called? Pockets. So you have a pocket here and a pocket here. I have a May Designs book, a May Designs May book back here. So what my thought was with this, we'll see if it works out, is I've always used a bullet system, a bullet journal type system before I even knew what bullet journaling was for certain tracking elements. And instead of having a loose leaf thing for something that I know I'm going to track like the entire year, I'm going to put them in here so that no matter what planning system I change to, so like if I go from a ring bound to a spiral or whatever, I can just pull this out and like set it with my spiral planner. And I don't have to like keep rewriting everything because that's a waste of time. So in here I just have, so far, I just have like my social media stats. I keep track of them each month. The growth, so it's still empty right now, but things like this that I'll be tracking until June in one form, and I don't want it loose because I'll lose it as I switch from planner to planner, just go in here. So it's like half bullet journal, half, I don't know. You get the point. Woo, we are making progress, friends. I didn't know this was going to be such a long video. I'm sorry. So there's that. The last thing I use is, I'm totally going to butcher the name of this. Leechterm? It's dirty. Leechterm? How do you say that? I don't know. Yikes, that's a difficult one. I use one of these notebooks. It's very similar to the Moleskine. Here you go, you can see. That's the brand. If it'll focus. I have no idea how to say that. Leak term. Oh my gosh. If you know how to say that and you can like phonetically spell it out in the comments, please do, because I would like to not sound like an idiot from now on. Okay, this is like a designated bullet journal, so I just have my name there. Those stickers are from the Reset Girl. So I was using it for like an actual bullet journal earlier this year when I was using a bullet journal system, and then I switched over to something else. So right now, let's move this guy out of the way. You're beautiful. You can peek it. Peek. Move my wallet that's on my desk. You can peek, but that's it. Okay. Right now I'm using this as a health bullet journal. So it is a bullet journal dedicated solely to my health, so that I decided to do this in a separate notebook rather than putting inserts in here to track, because when I go to my doctor's appointments, I love the idea of just slipping this in my bag and having all of the information that I need to share with my doctors right here in one notebook. So that is a really appealing idea to me, so I put it in here. So this is my October overview calendar. I still need to do like my little calendars, like my month before and my month after, so that I can like see the dates. Does that make sense? And then I have this month at a glance. So this is where I write doctor's appointments. You'll see I haven't filled it out yet because lazy. And then this month at a glance, I don't fill out until after the month is over, and that's where I put my stats. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. So first I have my gratitude log. I just write one thing every day that I'm grateful for that day. And then we have my medicine log. So I have the month of October, the medicine. These are the 3 main medicines that I take like often, but I left space because my medicines fluctuate so often that I need to be able to add and remove and all of that. Then I have 3 symptoms that I've been getting a lot recently that I kind of want to track so that I can talk to my doctor about. So this way I could just track them for this month and kind of see if there are any patterns with like foods that I eat or anything like that. Headache, migraine, and nausea. So I'll be able to track those and see if there's like a common factor. And then for my period, so I just track which days I have my period, because as most of you know, when you go to the doctor, they ask you that, and I can never remember. I'm like, who knows? Last month? That's when it was. So I will write it there so that I remember. Then I have my sleep log. With my chronic illness comes chronic fatigue, so no matter how much sleep I get or how little sleep I get, I am always exhausted. And I'm trying to sort that out a little bit right now, so I'm tracking my sleep, how many hours I get, and then I do longer so that like sometimes I have to nap because I'm so tired. So if I nap from like 3 to 4 in the afternoon, I'll be able to put that here. So that I can see, because I don't want to get into the habit. I mean, if it's necessary, I will, but I don't want to get into the habit of like sleeping in the afternoon every day. I don't know. And then at the end of the month, I'll average out the average number of hours of sleep that I'm getting each night, and that's one of the statistics that I will put in my month at a glance. So that way I can glance at the month and say, oh, in October I was getting an average of like 8 hours of sleep per night, but this month I'm only getting 6 on average. So just little things to help. And then this is where I'm tracking supplements. So I take a lot of supplements, like natural holistic supplements like holy basil and turmeric and cranberry, vitamin D, calcium, all sorts of different things for different reasons. And of course, check with your doctor before you take supplements, obviously. I feel like that's a given, but I also want to mention it because I'm not a doctor over here. I can't diagnose anything, but I do personally take certain supplements, and so I just track them here so that I can see when I took certain things. And then I have my weekly log. So what was I saying? Oh, so I have my weekly log, and this is now where I'm tracking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because that has to do with health. So now it comes into here. I know that these are totally crooked. They were supposed to look like these. I was watching a TV show while I was doing this and didn't pay attention. Whatevs. It is what it is. So I track my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then any just notes that I want to have to tell my doctor about or to like remind myself about, and then overall weekly notes that I need to keep. And then I will keep doing that. So that's what I have right now. Wow, this is gonna be like a 40-minute video. I am so sorry this was so long, but I do hope it was helpful, and seeing my system maybe will help you with some ideas of your own so that you can change up your planning system when you need to. And I know that it's a thing like to have a beautiful planner right now, and I adore everyone that's able to decorate their planner and keep it pretty and functional at the same time, but I just feel like sometimes people need a little reminder that it's okay if your planner is really ugly and messy. It's okay. Like, if it works for you, that's what matters. So Just keep that in mind. And if pretty works for you, oh my gosh, more power to you. Oh, I adore those people. Like, I look at their planners and I'm like, oh, it's functional and it's beautiful, and I just don't know what to do with myself. But anyway, for the rest of us, it's okay if your planner is not like gorgeous and wonderful and made up with stickers and everything like that. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Again, I'm sorry it was so long, but I hope it provided some useful information. Don't forget to subscribe for more crafty videos to come, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye!